Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the Gentleman's Picks Club. This is a non-monetized hobbyist only channel, and all I ever hope for is your subscription. But beyond that, that's not important. What is important is we're looking at a Monster Joystick from Monster Joysticks. I recently went to Retcon 2025 and I saw their product, and it was holy hell. I've got to have not one of these products, but two of these products. They were absolutely fantastic. When you get them delivered to your home, hopefully you'll have them delivered to your home if you order them. You open it and the first thing you see is this, and this is paper, but my god, it's premium packaging, and a premium product like this comes so well packaged, it just makes you excited to open it. I paid for this using my own money. Monster Joystick has nothing to do with this video apart from the opening clip that I said, look, can you just do me a little clip of the production of the joysticks that you're making for me when I ordered them, and he did do that for me. But they've got no say, no input beyond what we're doing here, and you know, absolute cards on the table and not these NFC cards. You know, I paid for everything myself, zero influence, and I've tried to have good joysticks in the past. This is an 8-bit Duo joystick that I've actually got here. I've replaced all the buttons and everything else like that with arcade things, but you know what, it's way too heavy. It never felt right. The gameplay was never great in it, but when I was at Retcon 2025 and I was using the Monster Joystick product, it was absolutely beautiful. This is going to be broken up into chapters, this particular video. We're going to have the games that we're going to play. We're then going to have opening up, having a look at the inside of the joystick, and then we're going to have a little bit of customization. My art skills are absolutely no good whatsoever here, but you get the idea of what can be done if you choose to, and we're just going to go on a journey together and experience the product. So I have no idea what music is playing there. Let's turn that down just a little bit here. This is my Mr. FPJ. So these are the cards that we're going to be using for it. We'll put them just down here for a moment, and the joystick is actually set up so you've got 3 buttons. You know, this is going to be coin, this is going to be menu, and this is going to be start game. So if I press menu here, you will see it toggle and change there. That's absolutely fine. That's what you would expect it to be doing. So let's put in an NFC card. We're going to put in Donkey Kong, I think, and see how we play with this. NFC cards are done by Zapparoo. They're done by Wizzo here. It's one of the extensions for the Mr. FPJ. When I do live streams, very easy way to play games, swap games around and everything else. But no, this works beautifully. So I've got 2 of these joysticks. I have 2 of these joysticks, and the 3 buttons you see here, like when I hit that, the menu comes up, we can get rid of it there at that point, is configured exactly the same here. So when we do the opening up, you will see at the back here, this part you have where this USB plugs into there. You've got a dedicated custom Monster Joysticks effectively interface there, and you know, the larger joystick I've got has got another 3 buttons in addition to these 3 that you've got here and the 3 that you've got here, but all these 3 buttons at the front work exactly the same as the buttons presented on the side. It's absolutely beautiful how it hangs together. No reconfiguration of the Mr. FPJ or the joystick, so I can actually take this joystick, unplug it, plug in my other joystick, and it will work exactly the same. But enough of that, let's go on a journey where we play some of these arcade games on the screen that you can see and see how it reacts. And what you're looking at here is basically the interface where I move things around here to how it plays on the screen. So coin goes in, off we go, coin climbs. Let's give him a little bit of volume as he goes higher and higher and higher. So 13,200 is my highest score on this. What I love about Monster Joysticks is, you know, if you could pretend that you weren't using a Mr. FPJ, and if you could pretend I wasn't sat in front of effectively a YouTube studio setup, you know, getting all this working as we are, you know, you would be thinking, you know, I'm in an arcade. It's, oh, that went a bit wrong, didn't it? You'd be thinking, I'm in an arcade, how well it reacts, how quickly it reacts. There's a really satisfying noise for the movement of the joystick, you know, as you move around there. It clicks as well, you know, everything feels like, you know, you were stood at an arcade machine, and it's absolutely perfect. The buttons have a very satisfying, you know, click to them. If I think back to that 8-bit joystick, you know, I only ever used that probably twice in the history of the channel. That was a huge waste of money. I have been using the I have been using this joystick absolutely persistently in the channel. You look at the ticker that goes across the bottom every time I use a Monster Joystick, or one of the 2 Monster Joysticks I've got. You know, it will be in the ticker that we've got. There's no ticker for this video because this is all about Monster Joysticks, but it will be there. It will be there at the bottom of the screen, going across. You know, I could not ask for a better. Oh, I did it again, wrong on there. I could not ask for a better product that we have. I think that's game over. I think that's game over. So you know what, we're going to swap to another game. We're going to swap to Phoenix here at the moment. This is just a demo of it working. My skills at Donkey Kong were never the best to show. But no, I couldn't be asking for a better product for what we're using here. And I am really, really satisfied with it. Oh, that is loud, that one. When we look at the cost of the 8-bit Joe, swapping the parts and everything else like that, it comes into pretty much the same price as what we have here. And yeah, this is a hand-built product, you know, that with a customized design and everything, you know, customized components, and you know, it is built for arcade players. It really, really is. Come on, let's get you. Let's see whether we can kill all of you. Oh, that was close. That was close. But no, the joystick, the reactions work well. Let's do a barrier. Oh, you did fly into the pesky barrier. Oh, and the barrier was disabled because I'd already used it at that point. All right, we should be able to clear it now. Yes, there you go. Alright, these appear in a slightly different format, these ones, so yeah, we might get a few got rid of very, very quickly. Oh, he got me, he got me. Maybe we can get to the birds, but it's just a demo of this working, how well it absolutely works. I think the true skill will be, you know, watching me play New Rally X to see how we get on that, and that is on here. You know, I don't know how far we'll get through that. You know, we're just demonstrating the product here. The great, great product. Come on, birdies, die, die, die. Oh. How they both missed out, I don't know. And how I keep shooting their wings and... Ah. There we go. 2 birds for the price of 1. Now, if I could shoot these eggs before they turn into birds, my life would be a lot easier. Oh, that was a nice sweep, wasn't it? If you got rid of him one go there. You know, you could close your eyes and have member berries of being back in the arcade. You really could with this. There we go. Got ya. Alright, we got an extra life as well. We got an extra life. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, he got me. I've got an extra life. I've got a life to do this. Yes, I got him. Boom. Yeah, I'm quite pleased about that. I'm actually generally quite pleased about that. Oh, look at this. Oh, shield went, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. So we're going to swap games. We're going to have a Puckman now. Now, Puckman on the Mr. FPJ, I do seem to recall having a corrupt high score that I haven't been able to fix on my setup. So yeah, you're probably going to see Yankee words at the top, but it doesn't matter. It's the gameplay, it's the reaction of this to what we're doing that we're looking at. Yeah, it just feels so perfect. It really, really does. Yeah, this just feels so much easier than, you know, having played in the past. There you go, and I probably wouldn't even dare that kind of skill, but the way this reacts, you know, it's very, very easy to do. It just feels so natural. Oh, that went a little bit wrong, but you know what? We've had some good progress on this, and I've still got a few power pills left as well. Oh, I got a bit cocky there. I got a bit cocky, but it went wrong. So 2 pills left on the board. We will swap games and we will put in the classic Space Invaders to see how that plays. So coin goes in. You know, just to show again, Mr. FPJ menu here, you can fully control on what you want to do there. You know, it just works exactly as you'd want it to work. It really, really does. All right, let's go for a 1 sheet clear on this. This also works, by the way, on MAME. So I've had this running on a PC to test it as well, and it identifies as a joystick controller under Windows, at least Windows 11, with no changes needed. And yeah, it was just basically plug and work for MAME. So, you know, I had a bit of playing on MAME with it as well. Obviously, you get exactly the same, you know, feel for the joystick and everything else like that. MAME is a bit different from a Mr. FPJ in terms of, you know, its emulation rather than a recreation under FPJ, but it was still a beautiful, fantastic experience. You know, why am I doing this just on the Mr. FPJ? Well, it's for ease of use, to be honest with you. It's absolutely ease of use to be able to do it that way. Oh, I missed you. But yeah, this is great. This really is great. You know, you could just sort of close your eyes and touch the buttons. And you can't see my eyes at first because I'm wearing sunglasses. Yes, it's good to wear sunglasses when you play games. But close your eyes and just pretend that you're back in an 80s arcade, a 90s arcade as you're playing this. But yeah, Monster Joysticks, you know, dealing with them was an absolute pleasure. You know, it really... How do I keep missing that ship? You know, I'm not paying attention. It's because I have to multitask and do this video as well. But yeah, dealing with Monster Joystick was an absolute pleasure. Comms was great. Information was great. You know, the website is really, really easy to use. And, you know, he's open to dialogue as well. Yeah, if you want to do things or what you want. And he answers all questions very, very well. Right, there we go, so that's clear. Alright, one last one to do. We're going to do New Rally X to see how that plays. So in that card goes, out of that card goes. Let's go on a New Rally X journey together. So I'm going to aim for, we're going to aim for 3 sheets of this without dying. 3 sheets without dying, and I think I want to try and get the bonus flag first. So, you know, we want to get the highest score that we can get. Yeah, it just feels, you know, this is a game that I'm familiar with. This is a game that I'm familiar with, and it just feels absolutely great on these controls. It really, really does. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a real shame. There's no way that, you know, I can't give you the experience in terms of, you know, actually, you know, you could touch these, you could feel these for yourself. It's just so damn good. It really is a shame that I can't do that, and you know, I've got no way of, you know, breaking the fourth wall to do this. But you know, trust me, you know, if you trust the content I do, and you know, you've been following along for all this time, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for doing this. You know, it. Yeah, this will be a very, very happy purchase for you if you go this route. It really will. Alright, so we're going for that S flag there. Nice. That L1 I left too late last time. Alright, so we should have a nice run down here to get all of these. Boom. Alright, what we're going to do now is we want to try and do this bonus level without anything horrible happening to us. So I'm looking at where the flashing one is. It's basically mid-right. We'll go for that first. And that's cleared. Shall we see how far we can go? Shall we just play a little bit more of this to see what we can really do? It's always fun to play Rally X. It's always fun to play Rally X. There we go, and still no life lost. Still no life lost. I didn't rush to the bottom there because you had all the cars and that would have probably proved a bit of a problem. So I've just got to drag them all the way around the track and hopefully they will follow, and this should be a reasonably easy clear as long as I don't hit a rock like that. Right, and these are the ones that we couldn't get at the beginning. Boom, there you go. Alright, I didn't mean this to turn into an extended gameplay, but hey ho, we're doing what we can. At the beginning you can always pull back like that and do a little bit of magic, you know, to go over the cars. Oh! And we died. You know what? We'll call it a day at that. We'll call it a day at that. But that's not bad. That's not bad. 64,000 points and we died. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a bit of a teardown of the joystick. We're going to take it apart. We're going to show you what we found. You know, go on a little bit of a journey together. Show you a bit of customization. But Monster Joysticks, the Monster Joystick, the two Monster Joysticks I own, you know, from a gameplay point of view, it is absolutely 10 out of 10. So this is the teardown part of the joystick. We've got these 4 screws here. You need to remove those and they pop off quite easily here. Take the ball off the top of the joystick and then you've got this little plastic ring. You lift that up. And with this removed, you can very, very easily take the joystick apart. you'll notice here that the wooden top lifts up, and it's actually lifted the plastic top as well at the same time. I'm holding two pieces in one hand that you've actually got here, and these pillars, these four pillars, when you open them, they could do a little turn to the right sometimes with your fingers to make sure they are very, very tight. The side panels come off as well, because this is an assembly kit here, and very much like a Mr. FPGA box. If you've ever built a case or a box for a Mr. FPGA, you'll see it clips together quite well. If you lift the top off separately here, you'll see there's a large cutout for the 4 joystick holes to actually go down, and these buttons here will all be safe with their wires very neatly protected in that square. So everything has been thought of here. Lifting this off to have a look at the whole thing, this is the Monster Joystick controller here, and you've got these connectors that lead to the buttons and also the joystick that you've got here, but you've got these 3 spare ones here. You could cut a hole in the side of the case here and put maybe a hole in the side of the case there and extend the buttons as well. This is exactly the same controller that is used in the 6-button version of the joystick that I've got. Putting the lid back on, this clips together and it is absolutely precision perfect here. You know, I need to adjust it a little bit so it clips into place, but there is no movement when it's actually there. So give me a second. There you go. We push it down and all of this sits flush absolutely perfectly. And to put it back together, you simply put the top on like that, hold it together, check it's all lined up, and you're ready to go, which is then a case of just putting the 4 screws in the 4 corners. I recommend that you do this diagonally if you're ever going to be doing this. This ensures that you get a nice tight fit, so do the top left, bottom right, which I'm doing here, and then you fill the other corners in as well, and it just holds together really, really well. This whole product is absolutely precision cut. You know, you could not ask for a better made product in terms of how it all hangs together as well. You know, and you can see by opening it up, it has been hand built. This isn't off a factory line or anything, so you know you're getting checked products before they come to you, the customer, to ensure that everything is working. The arcade components here are absolutely top-notch arcade components as well. You know, these are the equivalent to what you would find in a real arcade cabinet. So this is why when I was doing the gameplay video that I was saying that the experience was as good as it was. You know, it really absolutely was. You know, we're nearly finished putting this back together. You put the little plastic diameter ring, I don't know what it's called, on there, screw the top on as it flies away, and then we screw it back on again. But this is the joystick put back together, and we're now going to take a look at a little bit of customization of this glorious, glorious device. Customization time. This is a sheet that I've printed out, and we basically need to remove the white areas around the outside and cut out the holes that we've got here. We're going to do additional things that may be a little bit over the top, like laminating this as well, but first of all, using effectively a guillotine, we're going to carefully slice away these edges. The reason I want to laminate this is when you print on fancy paper, and this is reflective paper that we're printing on here at this point, I do not want any of the ink that's going to be transferring from effectively the lamination that we've got here, so the lamination, the printing we've got here, onto the clear perspex. What I'm doing here is just trimming the edges where the guillotine doesn't work correctly, and then we're going to be popping this into a laminator. So this takes a little bit of time to do, and when we've done this, we are then going to have to be cutting off the edges. But this is making literally a piece of custom art. It doesn't look great, it doesn't look brilliant. I am not an artist, I hold my hands up to not being an artist, but what I'm looking to do with this is actually show you that, you know, you can make, if you've got skills and you use the templates that are available from Monster Joysticks, some incredible tops for your joystick using some of the custom parts. So here we go, we've got this all cut out now, and we're using a corner cropper to actually get rid of the edges, so we make the little corners a little bit round, so everything is nice and round. You know, this is probably over engineering what we need to be doing. I tried multiple tools to cut the holes out. In the end, it was easier just to put a pair of scissors through the middle and then cut these. It looks a little bit crude, but it doesn't matter because it's fixed with the buttons. If we were going to be doing this professionally, then we would do a much better job, but this is a bit of a rush job just to show you how we can actually customize this particular joystick. So again, we need to take these 4 screws out. We take the top off here. You've already seen us put this top back on, but we take this off, we lift that out, and you'll actually see that this was done first before the teardown video that you've just seen. Because look closely, you can see some of the white protective perspex sticker that's on the front there. I don't believe that was on the video that you've just seen or the clip that you've just seen. So this is recorded in a slightly different order. You know, taking this apart, you know, is really easy. You've got nothing you need to force. It comes apart really, really well. So, you know, don't stress yourself. And the chances are you've got a DIY custom kit as well that you've actually built and put together yourself. So you know exactly how this goes. We're literally taking this top off here and we will remove these joystick buttons out of there to put a new top on. So each button is connected by 2 connectors there. You've got the black and the red one, and we need to remove those so we can feed those through the hole of the laminate that we've just created and then put everything back together. You know, not much effort, not much strength is needed to pull this apart. They do fit on quite tightly, but it's not like, oh, you feel you're going to break something when you take them out. You know, they do slide off, you know, with a little bit of strength. And what I was doing here is I actually take them out the right holes and put them through the right holes where they came and just have them rest in there, because, you know, I want the buttons to be in the same place where I'm expecting them to be. And remember, this is a very crude graphic that we've made here, just purely to show you what you can do, how this works out, because Monster Joysticks, they sell the different buttons that you're going to see here. They sell the different tops that you're going to be seeing here. Again, exactly the same arcade parts, but what this does, what you have with the beauty of doing this, is you've got the ability to customize your product exactly how you want it. We've got a wooden top here that you can see here with those 3 buttons there. We're going to discard this for the time being because we're not going to be using this for the rest of this demo in terms of putting these through, but we get the buttons through everything where we want, and then it's a case of just lining it up on the top, getting the hole for the joystick there, and we are almost ready to go. What we then do is we put this perspex top on. So this is a clear top, and this will sit on top of the graphic that we've created. So if you've got better skills than me, you perhaps don't even need to laminate it. I'm just a little bit OCD that I don't want any print transferring, which I've said before, because, you know, I do think it's a risk to do with this funny paper that I've got. It's reflective paper that I effectively use for the NFC cards that you have there, that looks shiny, that looks good. In my eyes, at least, it looks good, and that's always in the eyes of the beholder there. And I think that ink will rub off if we're not careful. We're in a good position here. The 2 diagonals have been done. It doesn't look great with the graphic I've got with the border here. You know, if I was to redo this again, I would be much more closer to the edge of the graphic that you've got, so there wouldn't be so much effectively clear overhang that you've got. But remember, this is just a proof of concept on how you can customize your Monster Joystick. And remember, the world is your absolute oyster for any designs you choose to do or anything like that. So we've got that in there. That is sitting there absolutely perfectly now. That will never move. The ink will never rub off as well. We'll put in the joystick cover on. See, that hole is now protected. That was the original ball we have. We'll put in a nice red ball there. So yeah, that will remind you a little bit of Kempston joystick type balls as well. Exactly the same make. Again, all from Monster Joysticks, but you know, we're customizing our joystick. We are making it look just a little bit different. So what we do now is we basically pop the buttons in. We're going to use 3 different color buttons. You know, these just slide in like you're seeing here, and then you feed the cables through the hole that you've got, push them in, and we're now on the last button as well as we do the white button, and that goes in there. And that is, although a little bit crude in terms of the graphic that we've got, you can change your joysticks and make them look exactly how you want to do. This has been a fun project to do, a great project to do. Thank you for Monster Joysticks for selling me something so wonderful.
Gentlemen, P is for Pixel, C is for Club. At the Gentleman's Pixel Club, we play old school games, no need to rule. With sunglasses on, we dive into retro fun. Masters of nostalgia, our joy never gets undone. G is for Gentlemen, P is for Pixel, C is for Club. The GPC brings us together every single video. Subscribe now and join the club, let's have some fun. Gentlemen of gaming, you know ladies, welcome to Pixelated Fun. remember when we had Commodore and Atari too. Those were the days we loved them like a brother and you. From Puckman to Space Invaders, we played all night long. Gentleman's Pixel Club reminds us of those times when life was just right. G is for gentleman, P is for pixel, C is for club. The GPC brings us together every single video. Subscribe now and join the club, let's have some fun. Gentlemen out gaming and the ladies too. Retro fun never done. Through the years, the games may change, but the spirit stays the same. Gentlemen's Pixel Club is where we gather our hearts in a gang. Sunglasses on, we're ready to play. Gentlemen's Pixel Club, the ultimate gaming channel, always in play. G is for gentlemen, P is for pixel, C is the club. The GPC brings us together every single video. Subscribe now and join the club, let's have some fun. And women and children of gaming, joystick fun are never done. G is the gentleman, T is the pixel, C is the club. The GPC brings us together every single video. Subscribe now and join the club, right, and have some fun. Gentlemen of gaming, pixelated fun never done.